Welcome to RE Uncut. Our daily shows are supported by Printforce, Shore Agents, Rock End and CoreLogic.
Start each day with a question. Good morning. As a leader, you need to accept that people want to believe in something that's bigger than them. That's what Dean Yeo will discuss with this week's guest, Cameron Schwab. Having taken on some of sport's most difficult and daunting challenges, including CEO of Richmond, Melbourne and Fremantle, when they were at their very lowest ebb, Cameron established a track record of building teams and organisations. He's going to share that question that you need to ask every day with us when he returns with Dean Yeo in just a moment.
Standing out affordably in a cluttered media landscape is difficult, but now there is a way using social media, buyer targeting and an engaged audience looking and thirsty for property information. The Property Show is an exclusive offering from realty.com.au that can profile and promote your listing to hundreds of thousands of eager and targeted property buyers and sellers. You'll be surprised at the low cost and enormous benefit of combining new media, social media and audience targeting. So get started by following the link on the homepage at Real Estate Uncut.
Hi everyone, it's Dean and I've got Cameron with me. We're on day 2. Welcome back, Cameron.
Good to be a part of it, Dean.
Now, this one is about, do I believe in my people and do they believe in me?
Yeah, it's really taking a position as a leader. So if I'm a great believer in the notion of belief. I think people want to believe in something which is bigger than them. I think ultimately that's something which, and even in the world as we're going through at the moment, where it's changed so dramatically, where people aren't as connected to their workplace as perhaps they otherwise would be, that the notion of belief could easily be lost in this process. But just a daily check-in as a leader is just that simple one. Do I believe in my people? And my being a little bit possessive, when I say that, I understand it. And do they believe in me? And you then have to ask yourself as part of that, what is it that in fact that I need to see in them to believe in them? And that is both a sort of character and competency thing, as in you want them to be good people, as in high integrity, good intent, highly motivated, all those types of things. But also they need to have the capability that you need of them to perform the role that you need them to perform. And I call that functional capability. So it's not just capability as it relates to something that they're good at, but that something that they're good at is something that your organisation needs and you need from them as a leader. So it's a little check-in on what you need from them, but then you ask yourself the question, what would their expectations be of you? Do they believe in you as the leader, both the person who is standing in front of them every day saying, this is the way we're heading, is what you're talking about, is the strategy that you're talking to a believable strategy? Are you a believable leader? And that comes down, and I think the overarching question in all of this is one of trust. Do they trust you as a leader, and can they build trust within the group? And I think often trust starts with belief.
How is it then, in a normal environment, I guess you can touch, see, and the people as far as to go, well, I believe in them, do they believe in me? Is it questions you ask? Is it framing? And then when you take that now into a virtual world, it makes it even more difficult. So how do you check in on that?
Well, I come from a world of elite sport. Well, we're checking in on each other all the time. And the thing that that surprises me most about business, since I've actually spent time outside of sport, is that we just roll the dice on that all the time. So what role as a leader are you playing in terms of the development of your people, and so therefore the feedback that you're giving your people, and then the responses to the feedback that you're giving your people, that will then contribute to whether you believe in them or not. If you're asking someone to improve in a certain area, and you've realized you've got an unlearner, someone who's not prepared to grow and prepared to develop into the thing that is fundamental to what you think that role should be, well, you've got a challenge, and ultimately you've got to make a choice there. Is that person going to be part of what you're trying to develop and what you're trying to grow? And if you're actually seeing that and you're not doing anything about it, well, you're not the only person who's aware of that. So the people who are working with that person are probably questioning you as to why you're not doing something about it now. And that becomes, I think, really quite a fundamental way of thinking as it relates to this, that ultimately your responsibility is to build belief, create belief, build belief, have belief, these types of things, but then have to actually take a step back and say, what do my people need from me? And we've all experienced that in the last few months, where our people have needed something different from their leaders than perhaps they needed prior to the world that we're actually operating in. And those who have done it best are those who have responded to this world. And working with CEOs on every day, I reach out and say, do you need help? And often the feedback is, actually, I'm spending more time with my teams now because we've realized how important it was. And in fact, one of the silver linings out of what's actually happened out of the pandemic is I realized just how important it is that I spend more time with my people.
That's a great point. Okay, stay tuned for tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank
Cameron.
you.
The daily RE Uncut shows are supported by Printforce, Shore Agents, Rock End and CoreLogic. RE Uncut is one of the anchor shows at retplus.com, the home of property.